What's going on, my friends? Cubs fan Han here. I have got Warrior here with me. You're going to have to forgive us. We are super tired. We have just spent a full day at EA.
Oh, yeah.
And we are whipped.
Yeah?
But we still got more content to film. We did a top 15 video where we did a tournament, which was freaking fun.
That was fun until we got booted and had to go down into the lobby, but I got to finish it out in the lobby.
I kind of added to the fun, actually. It was
Yeah.
like, I felt like I was a kid again, getting in trouble for doing bad things or something. But
I got to throw you under the bus for losing your own game.
Oh, man.
That was awesome.
See, I walked right into it. I bring you into this video. We're going to talk about the top 15 again. You're going to throw me under the bus once again.
Yeah.
So.
And I won, so that was good.
Yeah. So
Jedi Training Ray.
We have a top 15 tournament champion, half at least, because mobile gamers on your team. We're going to talk about the top 15 a little bit more. So usually every month I do a top 15 video. I bring a guest on. We break down the top 15 and introduce this to you. This week it's a little bit flip-flopped, or this month it's a little bit flip-flopped because you already know the results. You've seen the poll, but I really want to give you some analysis on the poll, give you my takes on it. And then Warrior and I had already talked about doing this video together. And so I really wanted you to have his perspective. I don't know, Warrior, you've been around this game for a little bit. You kind of understand what's going on a little bit.
Un poquito.
Un poquito. I don't think he knows what he's talking about, but in case he does, I think maybe we'll
record it, edit it.
We'll edit. I'll make
something you don't like. Just
beep, 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 beep. Before the video, I've been telling him all about the game, making sure he knows what's up. No.
Yeah, I know. Of course, Underworld Police is only okay.
But
I like him.
Ugnaught is very good.
I like him.
Ugnaught's very good. So. All right, so starting with the others receiving votes, and I've got this here so that Warrior can see it. Yep. Others receiving votes, starting with General Veers. We got Barris in here, Shore, Kylo Ren, a bunch of others. I mean, Warrior, what are some of your takeaways from this others receiving votes? Is there anyone in here that you think should be in the top 15, or do you think it's about right?
You know, it's a good top 15. I mean, obviously your pollsters have made their determinations, and there's this algorithmic data that shows these top 15 are concurrently always in the top 15 of those particular pollsters' opinions. And these guys, know the game well enough to make a determination. But I see a few that stick out to me. Barris, Kylo Ren Unmasked, Hermit Yoda. When I think of top 15, I think about every facet of the game, from PvP to PvE.
And that's what I tell my pollers. You have to consider every area of the game, so that's good.
Yep. And so when you think about all aspects of the game and whatnot, there's definitely a couple like Kylo Ren Unmasked that, I mean, he's MVP in Territory Wars.
Right.
So, I mean, and First Order has their place. They really do. So there's a few of those, like honorable mentions, so to speak, that, I can see why they made some people's top 15 for sure.
All right, we're going to go through numbers 1 through 15. I think we'll do it in groups of 5. You guys already know the list. We don't need to build you up from 15 to 1. But looking at numbers 1 through 5, one of my biggest things looking at this, so we got Commander Luke, General Kenobi, R2 Thrawn, Rey, Jedi Training. I personally feel like Commander Luke Skywalker, this is the first time I've ever said this on camera. I personally feel like Commander Luke Skywalker shouldn't be number 1. What do you think?
I don't know. He's an integral part of many people's heroic AAT team that goes through phase 2, 3, and 4. He can solo the Rancor by himself.
Right.
He restores health and protection, cleanses himself, does some of the best damage for high burst damage in the game. He can put buff immunity down on tanks.
It's true.
He's got some good base speed, and he's an all-around great character. Plus, he's a phenomenal leader, bringing in that extra damage and countering and stuff. I don't know. He still has a place, definitely in my opinion, in the top 5. I'm not sure he'd be number 1, especially after Jedi Training.
Yeah, right.
Whooping his butt.
Well, that's 1v1. Anyway. I mean, it's not quite. I personally feel like the case I'm making is that General Kenobi should be number 1, and I've got a lot of reasons for this, but a big reason why, probably the biggest difference I think maybe between General Kenobi and Commander Luke
is Zetas.
The Zetas, right? General Kenobi does it with no Zetas.
None.
He does not need training wheels, people.
No.
And he's been doing it for so long. He's like an old man. He's still got new tricks.
Yeah.
But General Kenobi, maybe he doesn't do as well in raids as Commander Luke. I think if there's an area of the game that Commander Luke has an edge on General Kenobi, it's probably going to be raids. But look at what General Kenobi does everywhere else. I think he's equally as important in territory battles and in territory wars.
Yep.
And then in PvP, I think he's more valuable.
Yeah.
He fits in. Since General Kenobi has come out in this game, he has fit in every single meta team with the exception of maybe a few. He fits with
plug and play him anywhere. I mean, he's the best tank in the game.
Yeah, he fits with Night Sisters. He fits with
the
the new Palpatine meta.
Yep.
He fits with Rey Jedi training teams. He fits with Commander Luke Skywalker teams. He fits
as
with
a
the
lead
Jedi
on the Barris teams.
As a lead for the Barris teams. He's so immensely versatile to me. Yep. I think he trumps Commander Luke.
Yep. He's definitely a phenomenal character, and he can go anywhere. I think that Commander Luke has that tiniest edge when it comes to all content when revealed,
and they both need a ship.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
I get behind it, and kind of moving on to numbers 6 through 10. I'm actually a little bit disappointed to see Palpatine out of the top 5. With this rework and what has changed with him, I put him in my personal top 5. But I think I can kind of see the reason for it because he doesn't have as much usability in raids. I mean, where are you using Palpatine in raids? But that could change with the new raid coming up.
Soon
to be.
Soon top 5 for sure. Very confident in that. Yeah, I think the recent rework is one of those reworks that starts off slow, doesn't look so good, and then kind of materializes into something phenomenal. But I think that it takes time for people to realize how to truly bring the right mechanics to him so that way he shines. You know, if you don't have him in the right team composition, and I know there's a lot of great team comps out there with him right now, but I think some people are just now starting to realize his potential, and I think he's going to climb your list for sure, especially with the pollsters. I think they're going to find that he's going to go higher up. So, yeah.
Should be really interesting to see. I think it's. I think Mother Talzin. Before in previous months, I've really campaigned for Talzin to be a top 5 character, but I'm kind of starting to feel like that this is pretty accurate for her. I think she's probably close to top 5, but not quite there. I might put her up more towards 7 or 6. Somewhere around there, but I can get behind Talzin not being top 5 anymore.
Yeah, and I can definitely get her, get behind her being in top 10 because I mean,
yeah,
in PVE content,
definitely
she
top
shines
10.
all over.
Yeah.
In player versus player, I mean, she's usable on Night Sister teams, obviously, but then you could just plug her in anywhere as just this really durable character with like 75,000 health protection, so super durable with a very unique debuff that doesn't exist anywhere else. And her plague mechanic, basically, it's glue. What's cool is even if the plague mechanic doesn't actually kill the people that you're fighting, what it does is it provides the glue to make sure that everything else doesn't stick. You know, that when the plague is on there, that they can't cleanse, they can't, you know, they can't add more buffs. So things like that. It's just a really good mechanic.
Night Sisters, for me, it's a team I always want to farm, but something else keeps coming up for me.
Bingo. It was that or Jedi Training Ray that I had been saving for Night Sisters, and then I was like, you know, they were like, well, Spirit's going PV or pay to play, and I was like, nah, you know, I'm not doing any Night Sisters. Screw that. I'm gonna not spend any money for whatever. You know, I totally fell on that, but. You know, it's like, I'm not going to spend it. And then Jedi Training Ray came out, and I had all those Zetas sitting around for Night Sisters, and I was like, oh, yeah.
All right, rounding it out with numbers 11 through 15. Now, when I actually submitted my personal list, this was the area that I debated the most. It was the hardest for me to place because there's a lot of characters I feel like deserve these spots, but you can only put 5 characters here.
Yeah.
One character in particular that I did a lot of debating on is the Wampa.
Yeah.
Because the Wampa is now has now helped us establish the first ever solo of the heroic tank team.
One of 2 teams can do it, and there's the Yoda team, and then there's the Wampanator team by Sir Gorgeous, and the Wampanator team. Yeah, definitely. You know, Yoda's team though actually is easier to get through phase 1.
Right.
So, you know, it's just slower through phases 2, 3, and 4. Wampanator is
that's like a trade-off.
Freaking super fast 2, 3, and 4, but really slow in phase 1, and it's really hard to perfect. A lot of people can't do it. I have a 6-star, so I can't even attempt the Wampanator team. Sadly, I would like to try it out and perfect it for my own
Right.
purposes. I'd love to get 44 million, 44, 48 million, you know, whatever. I think it's 48 million in the raid.
Yeah, I think it's 48. If I remember.
But I know a lot of people that get like 44 million because they, you know, jump in and it's a few million.
It's easier to just hit auto. That's what I want to do for raid. This is just me. I just not as much because I enjoy the heroic tank, but what I don't enjoy is to manually go through that much damage.
The issue with
takes you
heroic
it takes you like an hour.
Yeah, for me it's like that's exactly right. I could jump in and I like see it's oh crap it's going. I was with a customer and so like I'm like oh crap I'm not with a customer anymore. So I grab my phone I look and I'm like oh I'm a half hour behind. I jump in they're like phase 3 halfway and I'm like so I just throw it in I auto battle and I come out like 12 to 22 million. And I'm just like, bash, that's good enough. I mean, it's better than a 0 because I'm going to post higher than all the zeros.
Right.
So, and since only like we have like 30% participation if that on the raid, I'm bound to get, you know, top 10, top 15.
Well, even if you're only top 25, the rewards could still be better than some of the top.
Sometimes,
spots.
yeah.
I feel like anytime I finish in the top 5 of my raid, I'm gonna get something crappy and then post a 0 and get amazing gear. Another character in here that I'm interested in is Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus is a character that I felt like was really starting to fall out of favor. We had him since February last year. He was amazing. He was meta. He really helped that triple cleanse team be so dominant. So many other teams. And then we had so many other OP characters come out. You know, Commander Luke, Rey Jedi Training. Slowly Nihilus started to fall on this list. And now I feel like he's back on the rise.
And then we've got Emperor Palpatine rework, Darth Vader rework. So that's going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yep, I'm running. My Darth Nihilus was
part
on
of
the bench.
You know,
He was on the bench. He was collecting dust, and now he's back in my arena team.
I know I had to look at mine and look at the mods and like, how do I
mod this guy?
I totally stripped him and stuck like random mods on him. Like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
crap,
me too.
This is terrible. I gotta put something.
It's hard to find enough speed for him because he's kind of slow. You want him to be fast.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm really excited about this top 15 list. This is one of my favorite lists that I've put out. I mean, the gap between Commander Luke and General Kenobi is not that wide. We are seeing, for the first time, Commander Luke is not dominated at #1. He may be #1, but it looks like we could have Commander Luke dethroned here soon, hopefully. But what I'm most excited about is for the first time since the inception of this list, we have a dark side dominated list. There are 8 dark side characters and there are 7 light side characters. A big part of this, I guess, complaint that we had about this game for the longest time is that light side dominated the game so much. And now I think we're really seeing a shift in the tide where we've got enough love on the dark side where the dark side has a place in the meta.
16 less characters, but they're representing more than 50% of the current top meta slots. And I would say this is one of the more diverse times ever in the game for Arena. There's not been a better time with the paper, rock, scissors situation where certain teams beat certain teams but are weaker on certain teams. Right now is the time to go because you can run CLS, you can run Jedi Training Rey, you can run Darkside, Thrawn lead, you can even run First Order. I've seen people do it. I've seen people run, you know, Resistance, Ewoks, Phoenix. I mean, there are some people running Phoenix. Of course, Night Sisters.
Phoenix works.
That. Yeah, I've seen some people run First Order because that's just fun. And they're doing better and better at kind of balancing the game. So really exciting time, especially for what's to come. So pretty exciting.
All right. Well, Warrior, thank you so much for joining me for this. It was great to have your insight.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
That was good.
Thank you guys so much for supporting the list. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.
All right. Oh, crap. That's so squeaky.
Man, weak, squeaky. Sounds like you're killing a mouse.